The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash, a roundtable of Cowboys insiders dropping wisdom and offering sizzling takes on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys. Now, your host, Newy Scruggs.
Let's ride. Media Mash with you here on a Cowboy Wednesday from the Star in Frisco. Clarence Hill, Fort Worth Star-Telegram, longest tenured Cowboys beat writer. Nick Harris, the freshest member here to the team, writes for DallasCowboys.com. We got Jean-Jacques Taylor, longtime Cowboy beat writer and the author of the upcoming book, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders and the Making of Men. Look for it, October 10th. For your bookstore, but be smart. Go ahead and order your Coach Prime book now.
So you can have it on October 10th.
You have it on October 10th. And I'm reading it. I got my highlighter out on it already. You know, I'm sitting here
you've been reading for real.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I'm not Clarence just skimming, baby. I'm out here diving into it, putting stuff down. Want to just start with you, Clarence, before we go into the Cowboys.
Oh, this Alabama-Texas talk.
I told you. You want to go ahead and sing the fight song real quick here? Sing it. Come on, man.
I don't sing.
You went down there.
I don't sing out of the text. I might do the fight song.
Go ahead and sing the mind. Go ahead and sing the mind. You was down there. You was in the stands with everybody else. I told you, dog. We won. We won. Hook 'em. We won. We did it.
Good job. Good up. Good job. Appreciate proud of you. Thank you.
Did I say it?
Thank you for believing.
You said.
Thank you for believing.
Believe now, boss.
Thank you for believing.
Believe now, boss.
Thank you for
Nick,
support.
were you here when I called it?
I was.
Okay, see?
Thank you for the support. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I know ball.
I know you want credit.
I know ball.
You want credit.
I don't need no credit.
He want credit.
I just want you to
He want credit.
bleed now, boss. That's all I'm
want
like, Prime. Bleed now, boss.
You want credit.
I was in
I already believe, so it doesn't matter. I don't need your belief. You know, your credit doesn't mean nothing to me. Your prediction means nothing to me or my life or my fandom.
You didn't make him, so you can't break him.
So pat yourself on the back. It had nothing to do with me. Just don't care.
I was on it. That's all.
Okay.
It's on. You all heard it. I was on it.
Again, get your credit for the people.
Thank you.
For the people. Not for me.
All right. Mike McCarthy wins his season opening game for the first time since he's been here.
Yep.
You know, lost to the Rams, lost to the Bucs twice, goes up and lays the Carpe Omnia, seized everything from New York.
Took it all
from the Giants. Now this week he gets the New York Football Jets, a team that remarkably, if you check it right there, the Jets have won 4 straight against the Cowboys. No, 3 straight. 3 straight. And even though the Cowboys lead the series 7-5, they come to Jerry World. It is now a 9.5-point favorite. The Cowboys are Jerry World. Nick, your thoughts about the Jets coming to town without this quarterback named Rodgers?
Yeah, I think 9.5 is a little rich after what they did on Monday night. And the Bills are still one of the best teams in the league. They were able to force turnovers on Josh Allen. Now, granted, Josh Allen is pretty good at doing that, forcing turnovers. But they were really good in the second level. They were really good in the secondary. They have playmakers still on offense. Their running game, I think the 1-2 punch of Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook is one of the best in the league. So that rush defense is going to be tested early and often. We're going to see how those improvements have been made over the offseason for sure there.
Jack?
I think it's an interesting game because I think the Jets defense is terrific. We just like Nick said, the running game is going to be tight, but I think that they like their corners enough to say, hey, we'll play 8 in the box, and because we know you're not going to trust Zach Wilson, so we know you're going to run the ball, and they stopped that early. And the key to me, and this ain't complicated, you got to get up early and force them to throw because then it's a wrap.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all need to stop it.
What?
This ain't gonna be no game.
I'm not saying it's going to be a game.
It's not going to be a game. It's not going to be a game.
So
you
think they're just going to run up and down the field on the Jets defense?
No.
I'm just asking.
No.
Well, then it's a game.
It could be 13-3 though. It ain't gonna be no
if
game.
If it's 13-3,
it ain't. What I'm saying is this.
Then it is taught in the fourth quarter.
What I'm saying is this. It's like Peyton Manning on Monday night. What are y'all doing? What are you doing? Is Zach Wilson gonna throw the ball 3 times? It was funny just watching it because their offense is bad. Yes, they have a good running game, but Zach Wilson, if you don't give him 4 turnovers, I think the key is don't beat Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And you say they didn't take the ball away. Josh Allen gave him the ball.
Yeah.
You still got to make the play.
He gave him the ball. What I'm saying is this. You don't turn the ball over, it's not even a game. If you don't help them, it's not a game because they can't score. They cannot score. They were not going to score against Buffalo without those 4 turnovers.
They definitely don't win the game without those turnovers.
Yeah, it's not even a question. They come into Dallas, Dallas, that offensive line, they couldn't protect against the Buffalo defensive line. There's no way they're going to protect him against the Cowboys defensive line.
Okay, so stay there, Clarence. If you're Mike McCarthy, the play caller, how would you go about this game?
I mean, I'm putting the Giants game plan in. I'm not helping you. I mean, it's like, certainly you're going to do some things to win the game, but you're going to be careful on offense because they do have a good defense. But your defense should win this game. Do not give them any help. Do not give them any momentum. And your defense should win this game because that Zach Wilson offense as quarterback, yes, you may get some leaky runs because Brees, but at the end of the day, they got to convert third downs. And they got to make plays at the quarterback position, and I don't think they can do that.
Ultimately, you should have to make some plays in the passing game to win. You're not going to be able to run for 200 yards, I wouldn't think, and win the game. So they have to make some plays in the passing game. But if they can run the ball, then they can set up some play action. They can do some things. But if they can't run the ball, and I wouldn't let them run the ball. I mean, you could take away whatever you want to take away. Zach Wilson got to beat me. Them running backs ain't beating me.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Right. I'm putting 7-8 in the box, and I'm saying,
and
that guy right there, he's got to beat me.
And the Cowboys secondary is much better than the Buffalo secondary. And you saw what Gilmore gives. You see the way Diggs is playing. I'm loading the box, stop and run, and making him beat you with his arm, and he can't do that.
So the odds makers are right there with Clarence Hill. They've given 9.5.
But just on GP, I got to pick the Jets to cover.
Free to do what you'd like to do, sir, but I'm just merely saying that's a lot in the National Football League.
That's a lot.
That's what I said.
And that speaks volumes. I mean, Vegas ain't often wrong, okay? That speaks volumes about this game and this matchup and what the Jets have. Yes, that was a nice win on Sunday. I mean, on Monday night. It should never happen. The punt return, everything else, the turnovers. But let's not put too much into that. This team is struggling.
So Mike McCarthy will speak to us at 3:30. Last time we talked to Mike, Aaron Rodgers was getting ready to play the Monday night game. So what question, and I'll start with you and go around the table, Clarence Hill, what question do you have for Mike now that you know Rodgers isn't there and you've got this big spread that people all expect the Cowboys home opener to be a laugher?
Well, I mean, and we didn't talk about it, but my question is the health of Brandin Cooks. And
on the injury report today,
the injury report, and we understood that Tyler Smith was probably still has his issues, and I think the win gives the Cowboys another week with Tyler Smith. You don't have to rush that back, which I told you last week he wasn't going to play. But since we're bringing up stuff we said last week, right? That's what you did last week. Then you open the show that way.
Him his roses.
Then you open the show that way.
Pat that man on the back. Pat that man on the back.
Pat that man on the
back. And so Donovan Wilson in practice, but the shock was seeing Brandin Cooks. I saw him after the game. I saw him during the game. It didn't seem like he had an issue. I don't know how serious the issue is. Certainly, they had a walkthrough that they didn't have a real practice, a mock game. But if they would have practiced, he would not have participated. And so we'll see what the seriousness of that thing is. Because we talked about going against this Jets defense and their corners, and you need your weapons. But beyond that, I mean, it's how much are you changing what the offense is? What's your approach to this game? Certainly there are a lot of people feeling good about the Cowboys and their defense and the way they play, but they're not 40-0 better than the Giants.
Clarence Hill will get the second question at the press conference after David Moore gets his, so you may be able to ask that. Nick, what are you going to ask?
I'm not going to ask him what the game plan is to stop the run because he'll tell me I'm not going to tell you the game plan. So I'm going to exactly. So I'm going to ask him what's the challenge behind that run game that they do have. Breece Hall being the athletic guy with the quick burst that can identify the hole quickly and burst through it, and then Dalvin Cook being the power guy that can get in there and get those hard-fought yards. So what's the challenge in the run game from his perspective with the group that he has up front, and how will that play out on Sunday? Because that's the only way that they beat them is if they run for 250 yards. There's no other way.
JJT?
Wow. Yeah, I can rock with that. No, I mean, I think my question would always be about, what's your approach to combat the Jets defense and the pressure that they apply, especially up front?
I would venture into the Bill Parcells eat the cheese. You got people in town feeling real good about the Cowboys. Somebody at our TV station checked in the airline tickets from DFW to Las Vegas that Super Bowl week.
Don't he already? Don't he do that already?
It wasn't Donnie.
I was gonna say, were his initials PP?
No, it wasn't Positive Pat. It wasn't Positive Pat, but close to Positive Pat. But it was not him. And so that's just my thought process. You beat the Giants, who are a playoff team. And here are the Jets without Aaron Rodgers. And we all know Aaron Rodgers, when he plays the Cowboys, how it all ends. He's not there. Vegas got you the 9.5-point favorite. How do you make sure you get these guys ready? But Jimmy Johnson used to talk about when he was at the University of Miami. It's like, we only really had 3 games a year. We knew that he said, I'd have to get those guys ready. I had to get them ready to play Florida State or Notre Dame. I had to get them ready to play the other games. And so I think about this kind of contest from Mike McCarthy is how do you go and coach this game so guys have that mindset that, you can talk all day long. It's just one game. We want to be consistent. But, there's enough folks around here filling your head.
That's about your leadership, man. That has to be Dak and Micah and those cats saying, yo, man, we our season is bigger than the Jets. We got big plans, and
we saw it with the Texans last year. When Texans came in here,
I was just about to bring that up. If you think to last year, there were games that we were going in like, Texans are 1-10. The Titans game, the Jaguar. The list goes on. So go into this week and make that statement.
So I think that this team has learned from the past and not to feel good about something like this.
But how do you know that?
Experience. I think you got experienced leaders. This team and they've accomplished nothing. And we all know around here, regular season don't matter anyway. So what you feel good about that? You ain't won in 28 years. That's the big monkey on this team. The Dak has faced his team. Everybody knows it's not a secret. So for the Cowboys to feel like they're already in the Super Bowl, based on what?
I didn't say Super Bowl. I just talked about the overconfidence of
the
game. Well,
you brought up the checking in the ticket, so I'm just putting it all together. The Vegas ticket. What I'm saying, I understand overconfidence, but the Cowboys have done nothing, and they understand that even if they win the regular season, nobody's going to believe in them until they do it in the playoffs.
I think it's part of that, and it's what I just said. It's about the leadership setting the tone for the team. It's the coach, but it's the leadership on your team that really makes it go. And it's those guys who have to make everybody else accountable in practice this week and accountable in meetings and making sure that everybody's on point and ready to play.
And I don't really think you go back to those. I don't think the Cowboys went into the Texans games overlooking them, or the Tennessee Titan games. Titans have really good defense. That Texans team, they certainly did some things offensively, certainly with the running quarterback that the Cowboys weren't prepared for, and the Cowboys had some struggles. You didn't have you had questions at cornerback during those games, and you were experimenting with cornerbacks during those games and different things like that. And that was a low part of the season. They finished 12-5. I don't think the Cowboys took anybody for granted last year.
Okay.
I think there was just situations of them coming out flat, and coming out in that first half and not really executing offensively, and then having to play catch up in the second half.
Yeah, they had field goal to win the game. They had Noah Brown at receiver.
Yeah,
They didn't have playmakers either.
Which is why I want to see them execute on Sunday, because they have those guys now.
Houston, I think if they didn't take Kansas City overtime, they took them down there to the end in the fourth quarter last year. Yeah. So there are a lot of folks who kind of.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's football. It's hard. It's week in and week out. But I just don't think that they were eating the cheese and going to those games saying we feel good and we don't have. We just have to show up.
All right, let's get our first break in here. A former Cowboy offensive lineman has been released, and there are some people who are questioning and wondering, should he come back to the team? We'll do that next with Jean-Jacques Taylor, Nick Harris, Clarence Hill, Newy Scruggs. This is the Media Mash on DallasCowboys.com radio.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of you and everyone else absolutely loving new smoothie bowls from Smoothie King. And woo! Ooh, me too. These smoothie bowls start with acai and pitaya and are handcrafted with fresh toppings like sliced bananas, sweet berries, crunchy Purely Elizabeth granola, and a savory peanut butter drizzle. New smoothie bowls, only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash here in the house. Clarence Hill, Fort Worth Star Telegram, Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com. Author Jean-Jacques Taylor. The book is Coach Prime. Look, I heard this one. Well, I'll go into this one first. I heard somebody talk about Prime to coach the Cowboys. That's how people are now jumping this shark. Not only do some folks got NFL owners trying to talk to him, now they got Jerry trying to hire Prime. Go ahead and talk to it, man. Speak to it.
Not going to happen. And just, I talked to him yesterday, and I said, everybody got you coming to the NFL. Tell them, my brother, that's not happening. I said, okay. So y'all heard it from me. He's not coming to the NFL.
And why?
Because he likes to coach kids. He likes to mold kids.
The making of men. What's the book say?
The making of men.
Deion Sanders and
not
the making of men.
Men who are already grown.
And making millions. He's not.
He's not interested in that. He don't even like. He don't like. What's the difference? He don't like collectives that just cut you a check. He likes name, image, likeness. You got an endorsement. That means you earned it. When they just cut you a check, he don't even like that. So he certainly don't want to coach guys who make $20, $30, $40 million a year and either don't perform or don't want to practice and play.
All right, Nick Harris. Lel Collins cut by the Cincinnati Bengals, a team that is in need of offensive linemen to protect Joe Burrow. There's some Cowboy fans out there in Twitter world. I'm sure they've already hit you up and said, Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not huge on it right now. Again, there's a reason he was cut, so I'm sure that they're doing their due diligence to figure out what that reason is. But I'm not sacrificing anything right now to go out and get an offensive lineman. I've been talking about it this week. Chuma Edoga did his job on Sunday. He didn't do great. He didn't do, he wasn't a starting offensive lineman on Sunday, but he did his job, and it was enough to keep Dak clean. As long as he can show that every time that, he has to step in, whether that be as a left tackle, right tackle, left guard, whatever, then I'm good with the depth.
Bro, there's no need to go back. Go forward.
Exactly. I'm with you there, too. I
mean, that's why you got rid of him. It's just move on, man. Let's go.
One of the things, working with Mickey many years when I was doing radio of 105.3 The Fan, he would always say, there's a reason why they cut him. And ask yourself, why do you want him? And this team is one of those offensive line star teams. Remember Xavier Ciafilo was here? He was here with the Cowboys as a backup lineman. He goes up to Cincinnati and immediately becomes a starting player. Yeah. So for them to cut, Lel Collins says something there, and I agree with you.
There's no need to spin the block.
No. First of all, you never close the door on anything. Okay, you never close the door because if Tyron Smith gets hurt or something like that happens, this is an option, and you need to look at the option. He was cut because he tore an ACL, MCL last year. They did replace. They signed the starting offensive tackle from the Super Bowl from the Chiefs, who went there. They moved the other first-round pick to the other side, so he was expendable. They didn't need 2-3 big money tackles. Okay, it's a money thing as well. But when he's healthy, once he gets healthy, he should be an option as a swing tackle if you need it. You don't need to bring him in now, but what's wrong with keeping him in Rolodex? Why we say close the door on a potential opportunity when the goal is to win the Super Bowl? And we don't know. It's a long season.
Sports is fluid. as someone wants.
It is. It's a long season, so why we don't need to close the door. They don't need to go get him now.
Okay,
no.
Motel 6, and they're gonna leave the light on for him.
You don't need to go get him now.
Now,
But
last week, he had Tyler Smith done on Wednesday, and I said, "How come we just can't wait till Friday or Saturday?" And then he's like, "No, he's done today."
No,
now,
I didn't
now
say.
It's, hey, how come we can't wait for Lyle Collins? It's
No. My own thing was the same thing. My whole, if you follow my logic,
Which is
it's a long season,
right?
It's a long season. It's gonna rain. Why chance a 3-week injury by trying to force him on the field? Let's be smart. Let's put him out. He might even play this week because it's a long season, and you bought yourself another week because of the win. And he didn't practice today. He may not play this week. It's something that Jerry talked about on the radio. You don't need to force Tyler out there. Same premise. It's a long season. We don't need to shut the door on anything with Lyle Collins right now. Let's see him rehab. Let's see where he is. Let's see what your need is in a few weeks.
Okay, the voice of reason, Clarence Hill.
Yeah.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm not gonna poo-poo.
Follow his logic.
But right now, no. If the decision is now, no, close. As Michael Irvin would say.
He didn't practice all pre. He not healthy. No, of course it's no.
Okay, ain't that what we all said?
Yeah.
Delay is not denial. It's just delay.
One of your close friends in the business, Josina Anderson, tweeted about trading Cooper Rush. Jerry came out on 105.3 The Fan and said, "I'm not trading Cooper Rush." Josina's thought process is Trey Lance is there, so you can go ahead and do it. JJT, would you entertain a phone call from anyone in the league to trade Cooper Rush?
No. Why would I do that? That don't even make sense. And she's one of the best insiders I know. But that don't make no sense. Cooper Rush is a proven, solid backup. It's hard to find a solid backup. Why would you trade him for a guy who ain't really never played? Come on, man.
The idea behind Trey Lance bringing him in here was to develop him for at least a year. Jerry had said it. I hope that we never have a situation where he has to get put on the field this season, and he's not going to sacrifice that. And Cooper Rush is a really good safety net to what Dak does. I mean, we saw it last year in those 5 games that he started. He was able to operate the offense to at least to the extent of his abilities, and he did well with it. So, no, absolutely not.
It's hard to find a competent backup.
I mean, I answered it on Twitter. This is not happening. It's just not even on the table. Of course, Jerry answered it yesterday. Why would I chance our depth at quarterback when we have needed our depth at quarterback the past
need him
2
last
years?
year.
And the same thing that happened to them could happen to us. Why would I chance that depth at quarterback when with all the hopes we have for the season? You know, that makes no sense. And yes, you have Trey Lance here, but Trey Lance is a developmental project. That's what everybody said from the beginning. He's not ready to be back. Number one, he doesn't know the offense enough to be the backup. Number two, he hasn't proven that he can win games. Cooper Rush has proven he can win games if something happens to Dak. Not even on the table. Hang up the phone. What the guy in tennis do? What's his victory thing? You know, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. Somebody call you about Cooper Rush. Hang up the phone.
I wouldn't even pick it up.
What position group would you like to see improve this week? 40-0 win, so a lot of positive things. What position group?
Tight end. Catch the ball. Catch the damn ball. Yeah, you block well. Catch the damn ball.
Easily the tight end group. Yeah, really good in run blocking, but I want to see them put 2 hands on the ball and secure.
I say they cost them 14 points. Jake Ferguson dropped that pass that would have gave him first and goal at the 2, and then your boy Hendershot dropped it and 1 in the end zone. That's 14 points, dog. It could have been 50.
And we're talking something different about that. Everybody was worried about Dak. What's wrong with the offense? What's wrong? They dropped 2 touchdown passes, so potentially 2 scoring opportunities would drop right there. Even though they were being conservative and have a rain plan and wasn't really trying to be wide open, it certainly would have looked a lot better.
Now,
it's funny because
I think Jake Ferguson's a good player, and I think he'll catch him. But, catch the ball.
It's funny to me because, all these fantasy football, because I was on the show this morning, what's wrong with Dak and offense? They won 40-0. But my fantasy team, Jerry does not Mike and Dak don't care about your fantasy team.
Nobody on this team does.
I had CeeDee Lamb. I'd have had a Cowboys defense. If you had the Cowboys defense, you won. If you had Cowboys offense, and if you had Tony Pollard, you was all right. But everybody else, it was a problem. It was a problem.
Hey, Brandon Aubrey had a good fantasy day for a kicker. 10 points.
Okay, what'd you think when he missed that extra point?
I was like, oh goodness, that's what I said. One for their last 8 of extra point attempts, going back to the Washington game last season. So you have to look at that, but he rebounded in a good way.
Rebounded very good way.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up Aubrey because I think that. My headphones out, but I can hear you guys. I'm glad you brought up Aubrey because I think that all the unknowns. If there was a way to trial by fire, haze, pledge, all that stuff, baptism, it was right there in the opener. You're on the road. We've never seen a kick on the road. Hostile crowd, elements. You missed your first kick. Let's see how you rebound from that. All of that, he passed with flying colors. He missed the kick. You know, as we talked to Fossil the other day, it was a sudden change situation. He had never. They couldn't really prepare for that in the preseason. You do all the things, but getting a blocked field goal, run back for the touchdown. Then you run on the field, and they actually during the preseason they were rushing him to kick the extra point. This time he was ready, and there was 12 seconds to go, so the operation was off. All of these things these are all learning experiences. So he missed the first one. He goes back, makes a great kickoff, makes 2 field goals, 4 more extra points, 8 touchbacks in the end zone. His demeanor is great. It was a great learning experience.
All right, let's take a break right here on the Media Mash, DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Media Mash.
Here we are, Media Mash, winding it down here as we get ready for the Mike McCarthy press conference coming your way at 3:30. You can catch that right here on DallasCowboys.com. Jean-Jacques Taylor joining us, Nick Harris, and we've got Clarence Hill, media members who bring you their opinions. Fire them off here. Okay, Jets coming to town, 9.5-point favorites. Mike McCarthy is looking to become 2-0 for the first time in his career as the Cowboys head coach. Nick, you surprised by that?
Yeah, a little bit, but not really. Whenever you look at the context into going into each season, I guess. But he's expressed a lot of confidence in the training that they get during the preseason and the training camp and leading in. But it's only yielded results on Sunday night when they came out with a 40-0 victory. So I think they have a really good chance to get to 2-0 for the first time for sure.
I think that I'm not really surprised, but I don't really put much stock in it. It's because to me it's all about, as our friend Clarence has said today, it's about the journey. It's where are you at the end of the year. And at the end of the year, the last 2 years, they've been 12-5. So it hasn't really mattered how you started. It's where you at the end.
What was the question?
What do we think about this 2-0 start? But we all excited because if they get to 2-0, then they can get to Arizona, make it 3-0. Then they got Zeke coming.
First of all, I got them going 4-0 to start the season, going into the San Francisco game, and that's what's on the table. You got a backup quarterback this week. You got the Cardinals team with a backup quarterback or a guy that just got here 2 weeks ago.
They just a trash team.
And then you got the Patriots with Mac Jones, and I don't know what he is.
Mac Jones and Zeke, who going to run for 150. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Belichick.
But there's a really good chance, and I said it before the season. I said if the Cowboys beat the Giants in opener, they have a chance to start 3-1 or 4-0. And that's really on the table now, especially with no Aaron Rodgers.
So one game into this, Is Mike McCarthy
Coach of the year?
Coach of the year as a play caller?
As of now.
As a play caller. How he's feeling?
I liked what he did the other day.
Everything was completely different than I think what we'll see the rest of the season. He's talked about how many unscouted looks that he'll see from other teams going into the first 4 weeks. The amount of unscouted looks that they're going to bring to the field on Sunday, it's probably 90%. They didn't have to bring out a whole lot offensively. The defense jumped out to a big lead. They moved into the weather plan. The things that we saw on Sunday, it's probably a dumbed down version of what we'll see the rest of the season.
The thing that I liked was, and I wrote today, you'll see in the Star Telegram, it's about winning, not stats. It's about winning. His focus is about winning. One thing Monday night, I talked about the Jets. If Josh Allen just plays the game he has to play that day, once Aaron Rodgers is hurt, they win the game. But you turn the ball over 4 times. Going to the rain plan, and then taking stuff out your offense. And then once you get the lead, saying we're not going to try anything special, we're not going to do anything, we're just going to play the football, the game that's being asked to play, and let the defense, special team win it. He didn't need to. There was no ego that I need to show all my weapons, all the bells and whistles offense in game 1 to show you that I can call plays and I can do this and that can do this. Their focus was not turning the ball over and winning the game. And as far as the offense is concerned, the things that we liked, Dak Prescott got rid of the ball faster than any quarterback in the league. 2.1 seconds. Pro Football Focus, his release, getting rid of the ball was faster than any quarterback in the league in week 1. So that's one thing when you want to say, what is the new offense going to look like? Dak Prescott, getting rid of the ball, getting in the hands of his playmakers as quick as possible.
All that time that Mike McCarthy spent in Wisconsin in his lab, it looks like just one game in, and I know he even spoke about, hey, because of inclement weather, we had to take some things out. It looks good. It looks good. So I'm anxious to see what they get done on Sunday against the Jets. This is a good defense. Obviously, whatever the quarterback can or can't do will play into the role of how this game goes for the Jets. But I am eager to see what Mike McCarthy, the play caller, can do against Robert Saleh and the Jets, because we saw yesterday, even with limited quarterback play, I should say on Monday night, that defense made it tough on one of the guys that people think is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in this league.
Yeah, and one thing I like is the philosophy they've been talking all off season. And you saw the things with Turpin, how they would like to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. Don't force big plays. Don't force big plays. Just get the ball in the hands of the Turpins and the Pollards, and big plays will come. It will come out of the offense. Don't force big plays. And again, I go back to the Jets. I mean, the Bills. They were forcing things. As long as he doesn't force things, they'll be fine.
All right. Look, I know that the Mike McCarthy press conference is coming up here, so I want you guys to be able to leave here, get upstairs, get your seat right, be ready. If you're listening, Clarence has the second question. Number 2.
And probably the 5th and the 6th.
Jumped out of order on Monday. Tad was not happy about that.
See, the only problem with the order thing is that there are natural follow-ups that you can't get to, because I'm in order, so I got my question, and he's on a subject somebody asked, and there should be room for natural follow-up.
Saad always gets his follow-up, no matter what.
No, from other people, not from the same person, though.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, well, you should talk to Tad about that.
Don't jump out of order again.
Yeah, stay straight. Stay straight.
I'm good.
Well, Tad be hot. Let me look at Clarence. Choke him. All right, Clarence Hill, Fort Worth Star Telegram, Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com, the author, Jean-Jacques Taylor. Book Coach Prime coming out August 10th. Go ahead, order your copy now. I've got mine. It's real
I want
good.
my hard copy.
I knew he Scruggs. Stop begging on there. I knew he Scruggs. Media Match. Talk to him more.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.